your name. Where did your name? Because I think I read, I think your wiki entry, because of moderator, I think it took it down, that your name is Eric Kaiser. So where did the name K-Rino come from?
It's an acronym. Not in the beginning, I mean, it was just a nickname that I can't really just even trace the beginning of. Because people called me that since I was like the 4th grade. You know.
K-Rino?
Yeah. Since I was a kid, literally.
Really?
A little boy.
That's hilarious.
Elementary school. Yeah. But when I got older and started doing the music, I said, you know what? I just make it into acronym. You know, the killer rhymes intellectually nullifying opponents. You know, so that's stuck, you know, up until now. But
kind of KRS-One.
Yeah. But that's my favorite all time.
Hey, I knew that one.
No, that's how I held on like that, though.
Okay.
When did you make it Killer Rhymes, Intellectual Nullifying? Do you know what year?
It was in the 90s. I don't remember what year, but it was in the 90s. See, because I played with it for years. I played with it all through the 80s. I got songs that I wrote back in high school where I played with the letters. And over the years, it just got more and more advanced. Because if you hear some of the old stuff that I used to, it was real basic and simple. You know, because that's how we was rapping back then. But yeah, I've been playing with it for years. Just reached that point where once I got to that one, I was like, okay, that's it. You know, I'm leaving alone after that.
You hit upon something else. Influences. Like
Man.
I hit KRS-One. I was lucky. I hit the bullseye on that one. But
He came later. Like I got up on KRS in like '87 when a dude I went to school with gave me a CD because I was like Too Short, and I heard Freaky Tales for the first time when I was coming out of school one day, and this dude passed by, had a system in his car, and he was playing Freaky Tales, and all I could hear was that bass line, and I used to love that bass line, but the way he had his system, it was so much bass you couldn't even hear no lyrics on it. So I said, man, every day I used to hear this dude playing this song, and I never knew what it was. So one day I was hooping at this park. I was hooping at Linkwood over there, off South Main, back in the neighborhood off in there. And we just got through hoop. We walked to our car, and there's some dudes sitting in the car smoking some weed, and they was playing that song, and I heard the rap. So I looked at him, I said, man, what is that? I said, man, who is that? He said, man, that dude named Too Short. I said, man, I'm finally getting a chance to hear who this song, man, because we love this song. So when I went to school, I asked my homeboy, I said, man, he used to make big little mixtape. I said, you got Too Short? He said, yeah, I got Too Short. I said, man, make me a tape with that Too Short on it. So he made the tape with Too Short, but he put some KRS-One on there too. He put a bunch of stuff on there. He put South Bronx, he put the whole Criminal Minded album on there. And I went home and I listened, I said, God, I heard KRS-One just from, I heard South Bronx. That's the only song I knew. But when I heard Poetry and Elementary, 9mm and all that stuff, I was gone. That was it, because I was still jamming Run and all that stuff. Yeah. When I heard KRS-One, I ain't never heard nobody like that. So I was like, man, this dude here, this the coldest dude I ever heard in my life. So that's what got me up on KRS. To this day, I still listen. I don't follow like I used to, but that's my all-time #1. Yeah.
Have you ever met him?
Oh yeah, a bunch of times.
Really?
Back in them days, it's been years since I've seen him, but back in them days, once I got up on him like that, man, I was like a groupie. Every time he came to town, I was right there. You know.
Are you by chance in contact with him? Like, could you maybe him for the documentary or?
Nah, it may have been so many years. I ain't seen KRS-One. He been out here a bunch of times, but like I say, just in my own doing my own thing. I ain't in it like I used to be with into him. But back in them days, man, like the '90s, KRS-One could sneak in town without me being there. And I mean, then you know when I met him, he was just cool. I mean, he was cool. Me, DBX, and C-Rock, we went. It was a concert, one of the big concerts there back when Lakewood was the Summit, and they had it was Kumo D, Eric B. and Rakim was headlining, KRS-One, Ice-T, Biz Markie. That was a lineup. So you know that's a big show back in them days. This might have been in like '88, somewhere off in there. So C-Rock was like, yeah man, I know what hotel they gonna be at. They stand at that Holiday Inn. It's a little further down. It ain't a Holiday Inn now, but it's a little further down from the summit. I said, man, you know that? He said, yeah, that's where they stand at. So we said, we're gonna go up there and hang out, see if we can meet them. We went up there, sat up in the lobby for long. We sitting there about an hour, and then slowly but surely these cats start walking in. Bismarcky walked in, you know, Ice-T walked in. All them cats, Duddy Freddie walked in, and the majority of them was just acting funny, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't even speak to them, like, yeah, what's up? You know, keep on walking, you know what I'm saying? Just acting like too fly. So I'm like, man, everybody coming in with KRS-One. So, man, we might have been sitting there about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, and boom, KRS-One walking in the door by himself. I thought I was like in a movie. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, literally, I'm 18 years old. Literally, I'm like, I can't, he about from here to that door. I'm like, I couldn't even believe it. I was like,
starstruck.
It's like he wasn't even a real person. So we joking around, we're like, man, go say something to him. Like, nah, you go say something to him. You know, because everybody else walking the door distance. You know, so we like, man, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. So I say, forget it. You know, I'm walking to him. I'm walking up to him like he got a pistol in his hand. I'm like, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm literally walking up to him like this, like he gonna slap me if I get too close. Yeah. So he was like, hey, what's up, man? You know, just cool as a fan, man. Just, you know, cool. So that messed me up right there. I said, man, you know, this dude is real cool. I said, so in my mind, I say, if I ever get to that point, that's how I'm gonna be, you know, with my fan. I ain't gonna never look down and treat people like, cause that could have went a whole nother direction. You know, if I meet this dude, I'm idolizing this dude, and then he act funny with me, that's it. You know, I ain't fooling with him no more. But I mean, he was, super cool. Gave us tickets to the show. We broke. He said, y'all going to the show? We like, nah, we ain't going. He like, psh. Sell us tickets to the show. We like in the 7th, 8th row. You know, just, I mean, it's cool as a fan. I mean, we showed him some love. I mean, one of his partners was like, man, y'all know we can get some weed? Come on. We took him to the hood, got him some weed, took him back to the hotel. I mean, it was love. And every time he came down, you know, I was there to where he used to remember me. He would see me, you know, when he come out, I ain't have his number or nothing, but when he come on the stage, he'll look out in the crowd, he see me over there, he reach over and give me some doubt and do a show. You know, it was cool. I got in trouble one night for going to see KRS-One because he came and did a show out here on a school night. I was in 12th grade, and my mom was like, you ain't finna go to no club, and especially on a weeknight. I was like, man, I lied. I said, man, it's gonna be over by 10. I knew it was gonna be over at 10. And she let me go. Man, I got to out about 2:30 in the morning. And boy, she went off. She went off. And then my other partners, they stayed and hung around with KRS-One, DBX, my partner Kevin Lime and all them. They went to his hotel room. C-Rock, all of them went to the hotel room. They ended up smoking with him. I ain't never smoked, but I just would have been wanting to hang around. They hanging out with him, smoking with him. My mama just got through just going off on me. I'm chilling, I'm like, damn, that's why I ain't even mad. I don't even care. 2:30 in the morning, about 2:40, the phone rung in the house. My mama go answer that phone, boy. She come in that room and she just going out, but she hand me the phone. I get on the phone, I say, man, who is it? It was C-Rock, he at the hotel. No, it was DBX, he at the hotel. He said, man, he said, I begged your mama to let me talk to you. I said, well, what's going on? He said, man, we in KRS hotel room right now. He said, I'm gonna put you on the phone with him. He put me on the phone with KRS-One. We talked for about 6, 7, 8 minutes. And man, we got off the phone. I told DBX the next day, I said, dog, my mom was mad at him. I said, but I don't even care, dog. Because I was just glad, you know what I'm saying? I'll take whatever she was going to do just to be able to, you know, chop it up with KRS-One like that. Yeah, that's my boy. To this day.
All right. We be all night on this subject because this is not really official. The way we do the interviews, does that really up to my call, or is there a look you're going for? Like, like I was telling her, a nice indoor with controlled lighting, a real professional, like sit down interview, or we just on the spot, bring the camera wherever outside of a store.
Yeah, that would also say. I
Or
think
like a hybrid of both.
Yeah, it's gonna be because some people you ain't gonna be able to just get, you know, to sit down and set everything up. Some people we gonna have to get them how we get them. You know what I'm saying? Some cat might say, man, I'm over here, all such. Y'all just come on, we just get them how we get them. But anybody that can make the time to sit down and do it the right and formal way, then we'll do it like that.
Screw to Houston, I know we're definitely agreeing in like the way it was done. But they did have a host
Yeah.
that went around with the mic and this. Are you foreseeing that, or it's more like the people?
Nah.
This is their stories. This is the way we edit it.
Yeah. I ain't
Maybe a narrator, and I don't even know who that could be. Are you interested in being the narrator, or you have somebody in mind?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Maybe something you can mull over.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it myself, but yeah, I feel like it'd be better with a narrator, you know, than compared to a host. You know, it's a Sam Cooke documentary that I got, and I like the way they set that up. You know what I'm saying? Because the way it was set up was like they had a narrator, but when they flashed in on the people who was talking, whatever they said, you could tell what question that they was asked without hearing the question being asked. So I mean, that's how I would kind of want it to be, you know. But yeah, we can get a narrator, we can get somebody who can kind of handle that part.
Well, back to this, because I think this is true, and I know it's on the spot. Something else you can mull over to get me more information on. Groups that actually did spin off from SPC.
Right.
I have most hated aggravated.
Right.
Is that correct?
That'll be correct, because Grimm was the link to that.
Street Military.
Nah.
No.
See, the Street Military was their own entity. And it go back to the same thing. The link between us and Street Military was through Cat, because Cat knew them. See, it was a label called Gerard Records, and Keith Babbitt and all them cats. They started up a record label over there on Reed Road in Martin King, and he signed Street Military and he signed Cat. So by them being label mates, they started working together. So I was here by Street Military, but I was like, I don't know Street Military. But then all of a sudden it's like, well, yeah, they be with Cat. So I'm like, they be with Cat, then they must be alright. So we started linking up with them, and when they got real popular and we got real popular, the clubs would book us both to do shows. So you got a Street Military show, SPC show, you know, because they clique was the Killer Clan. You know, so you talking about BAM, Faculty. That's when Zero came up as a young cat up through Killer Clan, you know, with BAM and all them. So that's how another link. But now Street Military was they own the entity, but they kind of just merged in with us through that affiliation, because we all got cool like that. I knew Icy from back in the day, because Icy been DJing and breakdancing and all that. But Flea and KB and Pharaoh, they was young. Pharaoh was at that battle with me and Nip. He was one of the people that was there, you know, but he was the younger cat. You know, Pharaoh might have been 14 or 15 years old when we did that. Because they used to be in a dance group called 18. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
How about 20 to Life?
20 to Life is directly from us, you know what I'm saying? Because
Killer Hole and Black, both were?
Both of them, yeah, because they came in through PSK and Blank. You know, they got on big time, and PSK and Blank knew, well, I knew Black. You know, I didn't know Killer Hole. I knew Black because Black, you know, went to John, I knew from around the hood. But PSK brought in Black and Killer Hole around us, and that would link them in up. So you could definitely say most hated, aggravated, 20 to Life. You know.
Any others maybe at the top of your head? Maybe even an artist.
Well, okay.
You see Gangsta Nip, that's one artist,
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, but you know, Nip, like I say, Nip came in just based on me and his connection, you know, after we squared up in our battle, you know, but Nip was really from, you know, Nip was one of the foundations, so I wouldn't consider him like a spin-off artist or spin-off group, you know, like Most Hated was. But I mean, really, okay, and then you talk about SPM, okay, and then what I tell people all the time, the reason why he called himself South Park Mexican is because that whole South Park name was already popular because of us. See, so why would you use that name? See what I'm saying? And I ain't knocking it, but I'm just saying that's why would you do that? If you got somebody, if you can think of somebody that just, if I'm trying to come up and play golf, and my last name Jones, I'm saying, man, I'm Tiger Jones. That's gonna automatically connect you with that golf association because people know Tiger like that. So when he came out with South Park Mexican, that was because of the fact that that name South Park was already popular, you know, and that gave him kind of a springboard. Just okay, well, yeah, South Park Mexican. So, you know, but we always been cool with Carlos. You know, I mean, since from day one. You know, back when Carlos used to have the Hillwood cassette tapes that he used to be selling out his trunk in Boomerang parking lot. You know, since day one, we was always tight with Carlos. So I mean, nah, we ain't never had no problem with Carlos. You know,
Well, I've read it on the internet. That
to this day, only way I think that got up, Peter Best put that up there.
And I copied it. I can take it off.
Yeah. I mean, yes, because I mean, that's when I first read it, I was like, why is that on there? You know, I mean, that's like to separate. See, because you know, I've been one of the people that like, man, I don't condemn Carlos. You know, when Carlos, one of the last conversations I had with him, I seen Carlos and Timmy Chan, and he straight up told me out of his own mouth, he said, man, put it like this, he told me what he did do and what he didn't do, you know, and he said it in a way to where I believed him, you know, I believe that he just got caught up in some BS, honestly, straight up.
They do him under the bus.
But anytime I ever called him, if I ever called him and asked him to do something for me, if he wasn't busy, he came and did it, you know what I'm saying, and he would never, you know, just, if he wasn't busy, he came and did it because he always told me how much he appreciated us. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I ain't got no problem with Carlos at all.
Well, that's good. You know, I never really knew.
Yeah, nah, Carlos all right
I'll
with me.
take it off tonight.
It's all good. Yeah, cause Peter Best put that up there, man.
Who's Peter Best?
That photographer dude who, you know, he travels all around the world taking pictures, and he was kind of linked between us and that Screwed Houston thing. And,
I think he was actually in the documentary.
Yeah, and he did that book. He got this book with he got every rapper in Houston in the book, and I mean, he do some good work, but you know, I ain't into that. You know, I ain't into that slandering and all that type of stuff. Man. I ain't into that stuff.
How about James Prince?
What about it?
Well, you said Nip was signed, and actually one of my wife's favorite songs you're on, whether you agree or not, is the one you recently did with Scarface.
Yeah.
I guess a little bit about that, how that song came about, and the whole Rap-A-Lot thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, go back to Nip. When Nip signed Rap-A-Lot, that was probably my second really introduction to Jay Prince. Back in the days when he first started out, when he had the original Ghetto Boy, original Ghetto Boys with Jukebox, Johnny C, Reddy Red, Bushwick, and I think K-9 or somebody was in the group. This was before Willie D and Face got in the group. But, you know, Jay was just starting Rap-A-Lot, and I took a demo to him one time. I might have been probably about 15, 16 years old. And I used to battle against the Ghetto. I used to battle against Jukebox them all the time. You know, we used to bump heads all the time. We didn't like each other. So I went in, I took the tape to him, I gave Jay the tape, and he was like, yeah, that's what's up this time. And I told him straight up, I said, man, I don't really get along with your boys like that. He said, nah, man, money my boys. He told me just like that, straight up. He said, money my boys. In other words, I don't care if y'all fight each other every day. If I listen to this and I like it, I'm gonna put it out. So I gained respect for him off of that because I was kind of in my mind like, you know, this dude ain't gonna want to fool with me. If that's why I told him that I didn't get along with him, because I wasn't just gonna have the tape and then say if he like it, then I show up at the place and then they look like, what are you doing here? So I mean, but now Jay always been all right with us, you know. We met with Jay one time when I was doing my solo thing because you know, him and my old man met up about possibly bringing me to rap a lot, but I always was the type of dude I wanted to do what Jay was doing. I wanted to have my own thing, you know. Nip and them was signed with him, they was doing their thing, but you know, I felt like me and my daddy, we could have really did the same thing that they was doing. So, but the funny part about it is, and, you know, even to this day, anytime I see Jay, you know, it's all love. You know, it ain't never been no problems or nothing like that. He always bring me in or whatever. If I'm there, he bring me in without no problem. And if I'm already in and he come in, he ain't never showed no problem with me being there. So it's good.
And the song, how that happened with you and Slim Doug and Face on that song?
That came because you know, I've been on Face for a long time too, you know, for a long, long time. And we always talk about doing something, but for whatever reason or another, it ain't go down. But you know, Face recording with Corey Moe and Mike Moe over at they spot on the north side. And he just called me one night, because I think Corey Moe might have, not Corey Moe, Mike Moe, Corey Moe's brother, had kind of shouted at him like, man, you ought to get K on something. And from the story I get, they was like, Face was like, yeah, that's what's up. So Face called me and was like, man, I need you to come do something. I was like, all right, when you want me to do it? He was like tonight. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So, you know, I hustled up on me a ride, went over there, and we made the song, you know. Came out live, you know. And at the time when I got there, nobody was on there but Face. Slim would know. He was still trying to decide who he was going to put on the song. He was asking me. He was like, man, can you hear Kiki on there? I said, yeah, I can hear Kiki on there. He said, you hear Mike Jones on there? I was like, I don't know. You know? And it wasn't this, and I was just like, I don't know, you know. And I didn't know who the third person was on the song till the song came out. And I didn't know he had put Slim on that till the song came out. So, turn that around.
Honestly, you have something.
No, y'all have expounded deeply. It's such a come from.
Any questions that you have?
Nah, man. Basically, just whenever you ready to start getting people, just let me know, and I'll set it up. You know?
Trying to make sure there's nothing I'm forgetting. Make sure I do. Because what I'm planning on doing with, especially with tonight's stuff, is to go over it and say, especially based on your testimony, like what sounds good and what don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what can be fit together as, you know, as far as cohesiveness.
Right.
Because some of the stuff we talked about, you know, it's like probably irrelevant.
Right.
So,
Right.
oh yeah, the total number of like how many albums have you put out? That you
Man, about 20 something. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it'd be hard to really gauge, man, because combined, you talking about probably maybe over 100 and some albums combined that been released just between all of us. And then you go back to the early days, when we were selling a whole lot of records, man. There's been millions of records combined, you know, just sold out all of us. But I would have to really just break down every group and try to kind of get an estimate, you know. It's a lot of units been sold, for real.
But you yourself, you know, 20 titles.
Yeah, at least 22, 23 titles, something like that. Yeah. And I mean, I'm talking about store releases. You know, I ain't talking about like mixtapes and underground. I'm talking about store releases. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I would like to get on that I did not write down is another good. I like to get on your views on because that's another thing. I'm trying to focus on stuff that I want to ask everybody else.
Right.
Another one is that I didn't write down. Forgive me, you ain't seen this. That's based on my knowledge of rap and hip hop. Like a lot of people these days are like, it doesn't sound the same than it did when it started in the 90s. What happened to it? Well, so my observation is litigation. People got away from sampling. What I know as a young white kid listening to rap, I was being exposed to music that I'd never been exposed to before because of sampling.
Yeah.
That was the sound of hip hop because of all the sampling. All the greatest rap songs of all time were sampled.
Yeah.
How would you say that influenced? Did y'all sample in the beginning? Till now, do y'all sample? Or y'all stay away from it?
I mean, see what happened was this here. See, when we first started out, I mean, if you go back to the first hip hop period, you know, people rapping on break beats.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you go up to I say the Tila Rock days, the Run DMC days. Go back and listen to all of old Run DMC. Go back and listen to first LL Cool J record. Nothing but drums. You hardly ever, you don't hear no type of music at all and none of that stuff. Okay, so then when it came out of that phase, that's when the sampling kind of come in because people started messing with the James Brown and the Parliament Funkadelic. They started sampling all that type of stuff. Now, in that time frame from when it started, is a little gap where they were sampling like crazy. Everything been used and been used 7, 8, 9, 10 times over in different ways by different artists. So it eventually had to reach a point where it kind of just played out because it's only so much you can use that haven't been used. It's only so many ways you can use it. Then what happened is you went into the phase where people started actually replaying old stuff, you know, and then coming up with their own stuff. Now you don't hardly, the sample kind of came back a little bit. You still kind of hear it now, but it ain't like it used to be. Now more people are pretty much making their own original.
Yes, musicianship has ushered its way into
and original musicianship is like we coming up with our own tunes and stuff like that now, but still every now and then they'll get one. But I think it just phased out because everybody had already used everything.
Where would you say your heart's at?
I mean, my heart is just on whatever sounds good, because now that I'm kind of in a phase where people just, they send me beats, you know, I don't care if it's a sample or not, you know, if I like it, I'm gonna use it. I may ask, I'll say, where this came from? And if I don't recognize the sample, I can know a sample if I hear it, but I might not know what it is. They say, oh man, it's just such group called, oh, okay, I just wanted to know. But I don't listen to a beat and say, man, I want it to be a sample. I don't care. If I like it, I'm using it, you know, straight up. So, I ain't got no preference.
I think that's about it, man. I had political and I guess Nation of Islam stuff on here, but I don't know if that's something that you want to cover.
Yeah, we can cover all that. You know what I mean?
Well, as a group though, as the documentary, how much do you think would influence? Because I think it's kind of a grab bag, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think what would probably be the best way to do, you know, I mean, ask everybody what they ride with, you know, just plain and simple. I mean, I don't think it'll be something that you should just everybody who face show on camera say, yeah, I'm a Catholic. You know, I mean, just you could touch on that influence because of a lot of us have been influenced. You know, I mean, if you talk about even people who was in it and then kind of faded out of it or went into other things, it still was a foundation, you know, of religion and belief. So I mean, I don't care if it's me, I don't care if it's Justice, Dopey, just the people who are more identifiable with political and religious topics to the artists like Nip, whoever it is. I mean, we could go into that because it's enough of us that have been through those channels and are still in them to where it's relevant, you know.
I was going to ask you, do you think that's relevant to this
Oh
documentary?
yeah, no question. Yeah.
Because of its influence for
no
what
question.
you write, what
Right.
you produce,
Exactly.
how you carry yourself, like you said.
Exactly. Just the whole is definitely relevant because I mean, if you go through the history of our music, it's laced all through.
So
various
personally,
artists.
you would want that,
Right.
some of it,
Right.
laced in the
Right.
documentary.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I wasn't sure.
Mm.
I think that's about it, man. Unless you have something else.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Dougie Doug.
Yeah.
You gonna get, man. Yeah. That's rocking.
Oh, and how many group albums have been recorded?
Yeah, that's
Just
what I'm
two?
saying. I'm not. Let's see. Packet Heat person with that. With at least 10 or more members, yeah, 2. But we got other little projects we did before. Like if you take that Majority Report album, even it was more like a compilation. Even that what's that? Was the one? No, the 144 Elite album.
Actually, I think that is one of those kind of group because it's like a little bit of everybody up in there.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, just under the group name, it might not be, but those 2. But we got a lot of albums that just really just mixed in. Anything that a lot of stuff that Dope
Some
do.
concepts.
Yeah, Dope always bring a lot of people.
Well, it leads me to another question. Far as the music that's going to go in this documentary,
Yeah.
we're going to drive on, well, A, past archives, B, are you possibly interested in doing a soundtrack to this documentary, or C, maybe a hybrid of things? It's just an idea I'm throwing out.
I think
because you know I've already talked to you about another SPC album, but
I think that on the cool, the best way to me, and it's just me, I think it would be better that based on whatever era we dealing with, to have music that pertain to that era playing, you know, or used in that era. And I mean, and if there's any intervals in between that, we might could play some new stuff or whatever. But once we get back in the mix of what we talking about and what year is related to, it need to be something from that time frame playing.
oh, that's good.
And whoever we talking to, have some of their stuff playing.